day has come, the day that Nate has been dreading for a very long time. We are moving out of the van officially.
We did just receive news that someone's coming to buy the van tomorrow morning. We have been talking with her for quite a while, and it's definitely been a work in progress to like coordinate everything. I've just been in denial and kind of telling myself that it wasn't going to happen over and over again, and it's starting to set in a little bit, although not quite yet.
Yeah, Nate hasn't really fully accepted the reality of this situation yet, but I think he's starting to. All of our belongings into a box. Do you like some old Ghirardelli chocolate?
How many times has that been melted and unmelted?
Well, at least every day for the past 4 months.
Didn't realize how much junk we had. Ride in the van.
Last one. It's fitting that you picked it up in the snow, and it feels like it's about to snow here on our last day in the van.
It's cold.
It's very cold.
For Florida.
For Florida. Don't get to break this coat out very often. Food. Should we go to the beach?
Yeah. Great day for the beach.
Cheers to Vanny's next adventure.
It wouldn't be a final night with the van without one last project. When I redid the wiring in here not too long ago, I ran this wire across for our outlet, but it keeps catching on the fridge every time we take the fridge in and out. And I figured that would probably be pretty annoying for the new owner, so I want to try to take care of it now.
Beautiful out.
You don't want the Evo license plate, right?
Nope. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Also, everyone thinks it says evil.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really poorly chosen acronym.
Okay, now I'm gonna cry a little bit. I wasn't before. I'm so excited for her. How do you feel?
It's very bittersweet.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad.
Yeah. It's an emotional day.
Yeah. It hasn't, like, it set in, and I was like really upset yesterday, or not upset, but you know, like
Sad.
on the verge of tears, I guess. But today I'm not really like that, just because I've just been running around, like trying to get everything finished, all the paperwork and all that, and it's gonna set in again though.
Yeah.
So it has been quite a few days since we sold the van. A couple of weeks at this point. Been working a lot on the tiny house. We'll get into that in next week's video. Getting very close to finishing up the exterior there. And today I'm actually on my way to the East Coast. I'm going to spend a night in the element, do some stealth camping, maybe a couple of nights, and try to catch some waves. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of surf, a little wind swell over there. So see what we can find. I guess the question is this the end of van life now that I don't have a van technically, at least not that particular van? And the answer is most definitely not. I know a lot of folks have expressed concern. I've had people like send me emails, like take time out of their day to like send me an email or send me a direct message basically saying that they're extremely disappointed that I'm not, you know, living in a van right now, that I'm doing something different, that I'm trying a tiny house, that I'm not going to be traveling and all this and that. And I guess it is what it is. You know, people are going to express their opinions. That's part of putting your life on YouTube. But at the same time, this is my life and I get to make my own decisions, you know. And that all being said, I'm definitely a nomad at heart, guys. Like, there's something about waking up in a new place every day and, you know, traveling and being on the road. I don't really like being in the same spot all the time. Like, I want to be able to move around frequently. So having some sort of adventure rig is 100% in the cards for the near future here. Actually, probably pretty soon, within the next couple of weeks, we're going to start looking into a few different options for getting another vehicle, and then the process of turning that vehicle into a camper so that we can then get on the road full time. And you know, the tiny house thing, that's a whole nother project. I'm going to get into more detail about that, I think, in next week's video. But I will say that we're going to be moving it. It's going far away from Florida. It's going to be going out west. And it's not going to be our full-time home. Like, we're not just going to settle down there and live there forever. It's going to be a Airbnb kind of thing. We'd like to rent it out on Airbnb, and then we could also use it as a home base, you know, if we ever need to be stationary for a month or two here and there. But we're not just going to move into that tiny house and just live in it every day, 365 days a year. Like, Shannon and I both want to live this alternative lifestyle, and we also want to be relatively nomadic, at least for the foreseeable future. I have a hard time even picturing my life without being on the road for at least a portion of the year every year. Surf didn't end up being that fun. I don't know if it was worth the nearly 4-hour drive this afternoon, but hopefully tomorrow morning we get something a little bit better. It should clean up a little bit, and we'll have favorable tides tomorrow morning as well. So just gonna hang out. You know, I'm just happy to be out here on the road though. Like, I can't wait to just sleep in the element tonight and stealth camp, and I'm probably gonna go grab some food real quick and then maybe go to Starbucks and work for a few hours. I just miss being out here. So there's a bunch of signs that say no overnight parking here at this Walmart, but there's also quite a few RVs parked and camped out here in this little section, so I'm probably gonna move over there and just give it a try for the night. I've definitely stayed at this Walmart before, but it's been quite a few years since I've been to this area here, and I do know of quite a few good stealth camping spots, so, you know, I guess if we all get the knock, I can go move over to one of those. It's only a few minutes away. But this is really convenient though. I wouldn't mind waking up at the Walmart, running in, grabbing a few things to eat for breakfast, and then going straight to the beach. I'm literally parked like right next to the beach right now. So in terms of our next camper, I know I talked about that not too long ago here in this video. We have a couple of options that I'm thinking about, basically two options that I'm really considering. The first one is to just get a pickup truck. Pretty straightforward to get a pickup truck, and I've had this dream for quite a while now, over a year, where I kind of want to try to like build my own camper from scratch, my own like slide-in truck camper from the ground up. I've seen a bunch of videos online of folks that have built homemade truck campers. I even got to meet somebody, Dave, out in Nevada, who made one himself, and he's made quite a few since then, and he's doing a really awesome job, and it's just very inspiring. I think that I would really enjoy that kind of project. Obviously that would be a lot of work though, so who knows, maybe I could just get a truck camper, like an already made one, use that for a while, and then build my own and go from there. But it would leave the door open for that sort of project in the future. And then in addition to that, we're also really gonna need something bigger than the Element just to get like stuff in while I'm working on the tiny house over the next few months. I did fit a couple of sheets of plywood in here the other day, but I had to leave like the back open, and it was probably not the safest thing to do. We're gonna be a lot further away from the Home Depots and the hardware stores where we are going, so definitely would be helpful just to have that space. The other option though is to go with a box truck, or like a box van, maybe a 10, 12, or possibly 14-foot box van, similar to what Brian, Adventure Van Man, has. I think that that would work out really well for us, and in the time before I convert it and turn it into a camper, it would serve the purpose of being able to pick up supplies for the tiny house while I'm converting the interior of that. So those are the two options that I'm thinking about. The thing is, obviously this is not the best time to buy a used vehicle. It's a pretty good time to sell a used vehicle, but prices are up, supply is low. That being said, you know, I have done a lot of research, and there's quite a few pickup trucks that are on the market that I'm interested in checking out, so I'm probably going to start doing that over the next couple of weeks, just getting an idea. You know, I don't have to buy something right this instant. If I have to wait a few months or whatever, that's fine too. It is what it is. We have the Element. At least we have something to get around and to camp out of and to travel out of. But in the future, one of those two options seems very likely that it will become a reality. Last night was great, worked out really well, super quiet, easy to sleep. I basically slept through the whole night. Just pulled up to the beach this morning. Like I said last night, it was like just like a minute or two away here, and surf looks a lot more fun today than it was yesterday, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm ready to get out there. It's a little chilly outside, so I'm just trying to warm up and work up the courage to put on my freezing wet wetsuit that is sitting in the back of the Element right now. But it'll all be worth it. I think I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you all in the next one.